Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to your Bitcoin report on this 12th of February. It's a Wednesday. And let's get started. Let's open up the charts right here and take a look at what's going on with cryptocurrencies. I'm noticing that the Bitcoin dominance has been dropping. That, in my mind, is a signal of a bull market beginning. That's the real bull market I see beginning is when the Bitcoin dominance drops. I've been talking about that for a long time. When they start to buy in more to the altcoins, excitement's starting to come back into the marketplace. We're looking at $302.8 billion for the entire market cap of the industry, 62.1% Bitcoin dominance, with a Bitcoin price of $10,316. Ethereum's at $264. XRP is at 30 cents. Finally cracked 30 cents. It's almost up to 31. It's 30.4 cents per XRP. Bitcoin Cash is at $474. Bitcoin SV is at $367. Boy, Bitcoin SV has really done well over the past few months. Litecoin has done well too. It's over $80. You could have had $40 Litecoin not long ago. Litecoin is the right coin. EOS is at 534. Binance Coin's at 26.38. Tezos is at $3.31. Cardano is 6.8 cents. Monero is $95.02. Stellar is 7.9 cents. Tron is 2.3 cents. Ethereum Classic is $12.25. Chainlink is $4.02, and we'll finish with Dash at $133.17. So those are your big coins for tonight. Now let's take a look at this. Steve Munchkin is coming down hard on cryptocurrency. He's going to put significant new crypto rules in place for the United States. And, I'm going to tell you about this. For the last hundreds of years now, what's been used for money laundering is the U.S. dollar. Premier money laundering currency of the entire world. But they're not going to come down hard on the U.S. dollar. What they're going to come down hard on is cryptocurrency. And they keep saying money laundering. It's driving me crazy. I keep hearing this over and over and over again. This mantra. I don't think they use crypto very often for money laundering. It's a new technology. They're uncomfortable with it. And they want to find fault with it. They want to find something wrong with it. So they keep going back to the same old mantra over and over again. And they're going to try to do these crackdowns, It says the U.S. Treasury Department Financial Crimes Enforcement Network is preparing to unveil new regulations around cryptocurrencies. Treasury Secretary Steve Munchkin said Wednesday. Speaking during a hearing before the Senate Finance Committee, Munchkin said FinCEN, the nation's financial crimes watchdog, is preparing to roll out some significant new requirements. Just more paperwork for everybody out there that's got a little bit of Bitcoin savings. They're going to make you jump through a bunch of hurdles, a bunch of red tape, They're just going to drive everybody crazy. And it doesn't really help all that much. I mean, the real criminals out there, they're not busy chasing them. They're just making more paperwork for everybody out there. It just drives you crazy. And they keep going back to this mantra about money laundering in order to get these laws through, Munchkin, his explanation came in response to Senator Maggie Hassan, who asked, how will the Treasury propose budget increases in monitoring suspicious cryptocurrency transactions and prosecuting terrorists and other criminal organizations financing illicit activities with cryptocurrency? Why are they so maniacally focused on cryptocurrency? Because the vast majority of people out there hold cryptocurrency, they're holding it as a hedge because these are the people right here who have mismanaged the dollar for the last couple hundred years. and they made themselves rich and fat. They want to keep manipulating the dollar. They want to keep getting rich and fat, and they see cryptocurrencies as a threat to their empire that they've built for themselves on the back of all of us. We put in the sweat, and they sit up in their ivory tower making new laws all the time. You know what? For every new law they put on the books, they should have to remove about 5 laws that they've already got in place because they're creating too many laws. We can't keep up with it all. You know? They're just constantly thinking of new things to do. It's kind of like, you know, back in the old days, we used to have nice cars. You know, our cars used to be like, had roll-up windows. We'd take our hand, put it out, and roll the window up, you know. Then some college boy come along with a brand new idea, going to put in power windows. You know, we used to have a button underneath the seat we could pull, a latch, and then slide the seats back and forth. And some college boy come along and said, well, we're going to put in power seats. You know? And it's all a pain in the arse. And this is what they're doing. Keep adding more laws on the books, more and more red tape, and government keeps growing larger and larger and larger. Instead of trying to shrink cryptocurrency, we should be thinking about shrinking government. They're growing honest to goodness, government is like yeast in a big loaf of bread. You drop a little bit of yeast in, you figure, hey, this is great, you know, it's going to make the loaf rise. The problem is it's rising too far. It's going too big, it's never ending. They keep growing, and they're taking over everything. In the end, it'll be government telling you when to breathe. They'll give you a breathing license. You know? And you know, this year, you're citizen, your breathing license has expired. Quick, come with the steel clamp, put it on his face. His breathing license is expired. If we let them go, you know, they'll keep making more and more laws in the end. How far does it go? So anyway, that's what they're planning on doing there. Now, the Fed, who is a law to themselves, you know, they always see deflation as a crisis. They're always out there to fight deflation. Any deflation they see, they're going to crush it by dumping money on it. Endless printing. This is the reason why people want Bitcoin. People don't want to jump through red tape and hurdles to have to own a little bit of Bitcoin. Say you own $10 worth of Bitcoin that somebody give you. They're going to have to make you sign all these papers and stuff now and send them into the government and everything else. And it's going to be more trouble than what it's worth. All because of Steve Munchkin. Anyway, Fed-induced deflation crisis will cause Bitcoin to soar, hedge fund manager. You know, I kind of agree with that. The Fed's just going to keep printing money, printing endless amounts of money. It says the Federal Reserve's policies, print money, that's their policies, are fueling deflation, not inflation, according to a well-known hedge fund manager. A deflationary environment could send Bitcoin sharply higher. The growing U.S. workforce and retirement of the boomers will force the Fed to double its balance sheet. The expansion of the Fed's balance sheet will lead to low or even negative yields. These conditions will drive investors to seek assets that are scarce, and Bitcoin is a number one candidate. Now it's no longer a secret that the Federal Reserve is responsible for pushing the stock market to all-time highs. Yet that's obvious. And you know, the stock market just keeps going up higher and higher, no matter what news we get. Quite seriously, a giant rock from space could come and blow up half of the world. As long as it's on the other side of the world, the stock market will keep going up. You know? Says the Fed continues to pump billions into the financial system as it grows its balance sheet from 3.7 to nearly 4.2 trillion in a matter of months. During the same period, the S&P 500 and the Dow Jones have skyrocketed to all-time highs. One analyst believes central banks will continue to expand their balance sheet because it has no other choice. And is he ever right? Because if they try to pull back now, all of the markets are just going to completely collapse to the ground. A host of factors are forcing the Fed to plug a black hole in the U.S. economy. These conditions could act as rocket fuel for scarce assets like Bitcoin. Is the U.S. on the precipice of a deflationary crisis? Many analysts are betting that the Fed's money printing will eventually result in hyperinflation, but it appears that the exact opposite may be happening. The Fed is flooding the financial system with hundreds of billions of dollars, yet the consumer price index is not overheating. You know, we are in a careful balance right now between deflation and inflation, you know? And the Fed, they've lost control at this point. They have to keep taking these markets up hyperbolic and parabolic and everything else, dumping money in, endless amounts of money. Ultimately, what it's going to lead to is, because they've put a separation now, like a firewall, between the general economy, which is the Main Street economy, and the Wall Street economy. There's like a firewall there, and the money can't get out from the side of the economy, the Wall Street side of the economy, into Main Street. The money can't get out. And Main Street's getting poorer and poorer, and Wall Street's getting richer and richer, and it's leading to this discrepancy that can't go on. It can't go on. It can't continue this way. Something's going to give. Something's going to break. And when that breaks, a black swan event could break it. And, in my mind, I can see a giant black swan out there right now. A giant black swan event. It all depends on which way the pendulum swings. Whether this giant black swan event that's out there right now becomes more of a problem or less of a problem. But even if that black swan goes away, right? We still got all these imbalances in the financial system that are going to fuel the record rise of Bitcoin eventually in the end, because Bitcoin is a controlled asset class, controlled by the software. It's a computer program that's built in that makes it so Bitcoin can never have more than 21 million units. Whereas the Fed and their printing press, they can print endless amounts of dollars. And in fact, they are going to have to. They're going to have to keep expanding their balance sheet and keep pumping Wall Street up higher and higher while the rest of the Main Street economy deflates. And eventually all these bubbles are going to start to pop. People aren't going to be able to afford these houses. I guess the Fed will have to buy all the houses to keep the housing bubble from popping next time. They'll have to buy them all and leave them empty. They'll just have to print up another couple trillion more and buy all the houses in the United States. Where's all this going to end ultimately in the end, These imbalances are going to snap back to normal sooner or later. Markets have a way of finding fair market value ultimately in the end. Listen, thank you guys for listening to this show. Like and subscribe. Give me a thumbs up. We'll catch you guys in the next episode. Bye-bye.